I remember I had a video call with one of my Filipino friends, and the only thing that I was doing is crying and asking how and when is this gonna end? Because imagine your friend, imagine your father, imagine your cousin, your brother, even your grandpa, because there was all people there as well. And it's not only affecting you, but also the people outside that it's putting all the effort to help you and to keep you, you know, with the hope that everything's gonna end and that everything's gonna be alright. Mabuhay, so today I'm gonna be sharing with you my experience inside ICE detention. And if you don't know me, my name is Piero and I'm currently living here in the Philippines. If you wanna know more about myself, please check the link in the description. So while I was detained by ICE, I spent 3 months in detention and I was located in 3 different ones. I'm gonna talk about how do they work in general and then my experience in each one of them. So in these detentions, when you arrive, you will have the option of 2 uniforms. Blue if you didn't commit crime and orange if you have a crime history. They keep your stuff like phone, wallet, and anything that you possess that day, and they will return it to you when you leave that detention. Men and women are separate. And if you are a man with a kid or a woman with a kid, you are located in a different one where all the families usually are. In these detentions, they all have their own rules. For example, they have the time of eating when they serve you breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the time when they turn off the lights, the time when they turn on the lights, the time that you use the phone to call your families, also the time to use the tablets or any recreational space. But that depends on the detention. In these detentions, you met people from around the world. I met people from Nepal, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, Brazil, from all over the world. When it comes to these detentions, you also have the option to send money to that person. And this money is something that we use to make the phone calls because they cost money, same as video calls, and also food that we can buy in something that we call commissary. In this commissary, you can buy food like instant noodles or popcorn, things that we can make in the microwave. Depending on the detention, you also have the option of going for like open area, to breathe fresh air, to walk, and things like that. But depends on the location. There are detention that allows you to go out because they have that access directly, and there are others that allow you only once a week. In these detentions also, you can have visits, but depends on the detention because some of them can allow it once a week, some of them can allow it 3 times a week. So talking about my experience in these detentions, on the first one, I was located in a room with 140 men, and we were located in bunk beds. The first night that I was in detention, I was getting harassed because of my sexuality, and I was punched by 2 people there. I also saw people who tried to themselves and how the medical help took so long to help that poor man. I don't want to go into details, but sometimes the guards and sometimes the people that worked there, they were treating us really bad. And in situations like that, when you make a call, they are listening to that call. I remember someone that called his friend and he told everything that was happening, and then after he finished that call, he tried to make a different call and the phone was not working for him. And also, if you don't have someone that help you outside, you also have the option to work there. You can work at the kitchen, making the food. You can work at the laundry, cleaning the uniforms and things like that. And they pay you $1 a day. or $1 every time you work. And some people use that to make the calls or to get food. And because, for example, not everyone have people outside that help them. So that was my experience on the first detention. Now the second one, I spent my whole December, and it was one of the worst moments of my life because that detention, even though we were only 24 in one room, the conditions were really, really bad. The air conditioning was not working. The food that they served us was in a can, and sometimes it was about to spoil because you can taste, Also, we didn't have any recreation things like tablets. We only have a phone, and the calls and the food that you can get at commissary in that detention were very, very expensive. When it comes to the hygiene and the cleanness of the place, I remember I started getting itchy all over my body, and I have some irritation here as well because of how humid the place was. And in this one, we didn't have like an open area connected to the room, but they only allow you once a week to go outside. We didn't have any windows of the room, so you technically didn't know what time it was. And we only have one TV, but there was only one channel available, and it was only movies. That was the experience on the second one. To me, that was one of the hardest. I remember crying on Christmas. I remember crying on New Year's. The third one, we were 385 men, and we were divided by groups of 8, and each group have their own room. In this one, I will say that the conditions were better because you have an open area in the middle of all those rooms, and in there you have like a place to do exercise, a yard to play basketball or volleyball. You can also have the options to do therapy if you need. Medical attention there was really good if you have any sickness or if you feel any pain. Also, the food was good, and we also have rooms that you have the access to the tablets, TV, the phones to call your family, and the microwaves. That was the last detention that I was before going back to Venezuela. And in those detentions, you see people that are blind. You see people that can walk properly. You see people on a wheelchair. You see people with mental conditions. You see people that are mean for no reason. So you kind of are with everyone. You really have to be careful with who you go with or who you hang out. I still remember when I got punched on my first night. I was trying to keep it quiet. I didn't want to talk to anyone. And then, you kind of know good people, in places like that. It's very important to have that faith there. There gets times that you really start thinking if you want to, with your own life, because you don't see the end. Even though I spent 3 months, I know people that I still talk with their families, and they still there. I know someone from Cuba that he's still fighting his case, and he has 1 year and 2 months now, but he's still fighting his case. I remember I had a video call with one of my Filipino friends, and the only thing that I was doing is crying and asking how and when is this gonna end? Because imagine you're a friend, imagine your father, imagine your cousin, your brother, even your grandpa, because there was all people there as well. And it's not only affecting you, but also the people outside that it's putting all the effort to help you and to keep you, with the hope that everything's gonna end and that everything's gonna be all right. So it was a hard situation. It was a hard moment, not only for me, but for everyone around. I know God has a plan. I know God has a bigger future for me. But yeah, for now, I'm still figuring out. For now, I'm still, one day at a time. But I want to take this moment to maraming salamat to everyone that watched my last video and everyone that comments and all the new subscribers. Thank you so much. Please let me know what others videos you want to see from me. I will keep telling my story. I will keep making videos about this because I have a lot to tell, but I will also make videos about my daily life here. Also, please follow me on my other social media like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook because I upload there my daily life as well. Thank you so much for watching, and salamat po.